Welcome to DDB's End Zone Empire with your hosts, Dave, Dustin, and Brian, your source for all the latest and greatest fantasy football information, wagering, injury reports, picks of the week, and more. So we're here today. We are at AB's Bar. I'm your host, Dave. I've got my main man, Brian, here with me.
What up?
And our other co-host is out today. I think he has the diarrhea poops. But anyway, our producer. No, I'm just teasing, guys. Okay, uh,
No,
our
he's not.
producer is running late, but he'll be here and he's going to try to fill in for Dustin a little bit and all that. And we're not going to ramble on about that too much. But also, before we are going to break down the games, um, every matchup this week, and give you everything you need to know in that regard. But I want to do something a little different in the start this time. I would like to do a wellness check on some of these teams. It's midway. Some teams are trending towards the playoffs. Some teams aren't.
So wait, hang on. So I just throw teams at you and you tell
just
me
throw
what you
teams
think?
at me, and I will give you their wellness check.
All right. Well, let's start it out with a team that's on a bye, Detroit.
Detroit. Let's see. Detroit is, how am I going to say this? They are well, fair, uh, uh, they are alive and well. We'll say that. I don't really. The problem with Detroit is they don't give up a lot of rushing yards. It's hard to run on them. They're they make a lot of big plays. I think they lead the league in plays over 20 yards. Or at least the NFC.
Yeah.
And I just
I want to add in a couple things.
okay. Go ahead.
I mean, they already had a really good offense. And I think with the downfall and the injury to Montgomery, Gibbs has really came out of his shell. So
He was a rookie. He was
Yeah.
learning a lot early on.
So I think once he comes back, we're going to see a double-headed monster. And for some reason, they went out and got him a wide receiver and Donovan Peoples-Jones.
And that was a big pickup for them.
So their wellness may be up there.
Yeah, I think they're alive and well and trending toward the playoffs. And right now, if you're asking, I would have them as a in the Final Four easily on the NFC side. They're definitely going to win their division. All the other teams are a booty. But so throw me another team. What do you got?
Let me think. Let's go with the Jets.
The Jets. Okay. The Jets are actually, I'm going to list them as stable. They're at first I would have had them. If you asked me 6 weeks ago, I would have said critical. But they're improving. Their defense is still playing great. They with Brees Hall there, they're starting to be able to run the ball, and the little short passes out of the backfield are working for them. I think Wilson is playing slightly better, and they're starting to say, hey, you know what? Rodgers is coming back. We got to start winning some of these games. So when we get in the playoffs, we'll have our captain, and we can have a chance to make a run. And I think that's what's really got everybody motivated over there. And honestly, right now, I think they're the first team out. If the playoffs started today, they'd be the first team out.
Yeah.
So there's time for them to gain some ground and make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're sitting there with a 4-3 record. In your wellness check, I'm going to go with the number system. I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
I think because they're hanging on to that running game. Brees Hall, he's spotty. He's there one game, he's not there. And Wilson just ain't going to get it done. They're really defense is keeping them in the games, and I don't know if they're going to be there when Rodgers comes back. So I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10.
We'll see.
Wellness-wise.
Running the ball and good defense really it travels well on the road. It gives you a good foundation at home. It gives your team something to get behind, as long as the quarterback can play within their means. But let's move on. Who else you got?
Let me think. Let me give you a good one. Okay, Kirk Cousins goes down this week. So let's
Yep.
go with the Vikings.
Okay, that is a good one. The Vikings, I think they made a smart move. They picked up Dobbs, and with the addition of Dobbs, I think that moves them up to stable condition. I think with a weak division they're in, they still have an outside chance to make the back end of the playoffs. Not saying that they're going to make a run, but Jefferson will be back eventually. Addison's been playing well. Didn't they just pick up Who'd the Vikings pick up? Anybody?
Vikings
I
got.
thought they added a wide receiver.
No, just Dobbs right now.
Okay, but either way, they're trending the right direction. I'm gonna give them stable condition.
Well, okay, I'm going to go with a 5 out of 10, being stable. I'm going to give them a 500 record. Without Kirk Cousins, we don't know what Dobbs is really going to bring. I mean, we saw it in the with the Cardinals. All right, so you give him a few weapons, he might do something with it. And you say trending in the right direction. I see Akers. Akers is getting better.
Yeah.
Since he's been traded there. So, but I'm gonna keep him at about a 500 record. They have great wide receivers. Addison really has blown up. It's might hurt people in fantasy now because without Kirk Cousins slinging the ball, it might kill it. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10.
Okay, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling.
All right,
Who
well
else you got?
let's go with maybe the next coach fired with the Chargers.
Ooh, okay. The Chargers have a really great quarterback. They have great wide receivers. I think without Mike Williams, their speed guy kind of hurts their dynamic. Their defense has too many playmakers to give up as many yards as they do. And I currently, with the state of the program, with the situation with the play calling and the coaches, I don't think the players are behind the coaches in this play calling. And I am going to put them in critical but stable condition. Okay, they're if they don't get it together, they're not going to sniff the playoffs. And if they can, they might be able to sneak in the back door of the playoffs. We'll see how that goes. But right now, in week 9, I have them at critical but stable condition. Who else you got?
Well, here I'm gonna throw in my little 2 cents on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually give this team a 7 out of 10 because they are 3-4, but their 4 losses are coming to the Dolphins, the Chiefs, Cowboys, all
And that's why they're
above 500 teams.
That's why they're critical but stable. They haven't beat a team with a winning record.
Yeah, and
And that's a problem.
I'm looking
they're
at
not going to beat the Dolphins. They're not going to beat the Chiefs. They're not going to beat.
But they have the talent on both sides of the ball. I think it all comes down to coaching with this team. That's why that comment in could be the next coach fired. But I'm gonna give them a 7 out of 10. Let's go with the next one with the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals, okay, they're at a 4-3. They started off really slow. They had some injuries. Burrow he's getting healthy. He's getting better. They have been playing lights out the last 3 weeks, and I have right now the Chiefs or the Bengals as doing well in fair condition. They are well and healthy. I think the way they've been playing is going to be the Bengals we all expected to see, and I think that will be the Bengals we will continue to see moving forward.
I totally agree with that. I'm giving them actually a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I have them as
yeah. So, well, I'm rating it in a different scale. I'm going 9 to 10. Burrows is back. Me and Dave was actually talking before the show. Joe Mixon's running like Joe Mixon used to, catching balls. Everybody's catching balls, having fun. And their last 2 wins were kind of signature wins against the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Those are 2 quality wins.
Yep.
And so, I mean, they are definitely trending in the right direction. Let's give them a 9 out of 10. But let's move to the next one. Let's go with the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens. Okay. Let's see. The Baltimore Ravens are well and healthy. I think when you look, I think they have the most complete team in football. I think that Lamar's been playing well. They've been moving the ball. They've been running the ball. They're throwing the ball. They have speed at receivers. They've had problems with drops sometimes, but they will get these things ironed out. And I'm telling you, and when it comes to the end of the season and playoffs, you don't want to see these Ravens.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I'm gonna give them a 10 out of 10, just because they are like a well-oiled machine. But just like every Raven season's last 2 seasons, let's hope that machine does not spring a leak and we lose Lamar again. Okay, and if they don't, I've got them in there. So that was well said. Let's go with the next one. 3 losses in a row. Let's go with the Niners.
The Niners. Okay, now you might look at me and say, hey, they've lost 3 in a row. There's a lot of problems here. They have to be in a stable or critical condition. They have to be. They're not. The Niners are better than your team, and they all and they always will be till the end of this season. But what I'm saying is they have a lot of pieces, but these guys that are hurt, they're coming back. They're not out for the year. Williams will come back. McCaffrey's already come back. Debo, we'll see him again. I feel confident about that. Um,
Well, what kind of
and
medicine are they going to take though? That's gonna turn it around because Brock Purdy definitely is not. Is he is he the weak link right now?
no, no. Look, sometimes players are going to have bad games, but even with all the injuries that they had, in those three losses. There was one of them. Their kicker missed two very makeable field goals, and they would have won that game.
True.
And so really out of those three games they lost, there was only one of them I think they really should have lost. The other ones they were winnable. They just let it slip away.
So what you're saying, they don't really need to change. We don't need a quarterback change in San
We don't
Francisco.
have to reinvent the wheel. No,
Okay. All right.
and I think Brock Purdy is still greater than Sam Darnold. Um, and he showed some vulnerability because they were down. When you're a young guy and you're proving yourself, you put a lot on your shoulders when you feel like your team needs it. And I think he was just pressing too hard. He made some.
It might be the growing pains, and this might be what Brock Purdy needs. He needs to be down in a game, and he needs to be the one to bring them back. So this might be a good learning curve for him. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's stay in the same division. Let's go with the Seahawks.
Seahawks are another team. I don't have a ton of teams that are doing well and fair, but the Seahawks are one of them. Okay, I don't trust Geno Smith so much right now. But their defense is playing great, and Pete Carroll, he likes to run the ball. They've had over 100 yards rushing 4 out of the last 5 games, and their defense has held opponents to under 20 points 4 out of the last 5 games. They are on fire, folks.
Honestly, I mean, I'm giving them an 8 out of 10. They really proved it to me last week. Geno Smith against that Browns defense didn't phase him at all. He led them at the end of the game with the touchdown. I'm definitely an 8 out of 10 on this one. Here's a big one, though. I want to know about this team. Will Levis and those Tennessee Titans.
I had a feeling you were going to bring that up.
Kentucky fan.
Yeah, well, the Titans, let's see. Right now, I have them in a critical condition. But next week, let me see them play again. Let me see them play 2 more times, and then I'll move. Then we can talk about stable condition, because if they can keep it going the way they played last week, they looked like the Tennessee team of old. That they were running. Henry had over 20 carries. Will Levis had 4 touchdowns and who knows how many yards. If they can keep that ball rolling, this is a dangerous team because their defense is not terrible. So right now, I have them critical because if these things can change, they're going to be a heck of a team. If they don't, they are trending down, and really they needed Tannehill to go out because that might have been the best thing that's happened to him this year.
And I think you're exactly right, but I'm sticking with a 5 out of 10. I'm giving them a 500. I think this week, it's kind of like you just said. I'm just going to sound like a broken record. It's going to depend on this week. Let's see how they do against Pittsburgh's defense. Stout defense. They're going to be at Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Let's see how
Tough
Levis
home,
reacts in
cold
that
weather.
atmosphere, the terrible towels flying. Let's see that. But Vrabel, let's just keep that 20 carries going.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what's going to take, really, not only for this rookie quarterback, but when Tannehill was in there, too. I think that's what he was missing. But, all right, well, let's go ahead and move on. And, okay, Stafford's looking to probably be out. Let's hear about those Rams.
The Rams. Okay. With Stafford being out, I want to put them at critical but stable, but I still have them in stable condition because Stafford, that thumb injury I think he had is something that we'll have to check in with the football mom later on that. But I don't think it's going to keep him out the whole season. And all they need to do is keep it together for a little bit while he's gone. I don't know that they can do that. So they are stable, but they're trending down. If Stafford's back in a relative short amount of time and they can keep that ball rolling, then I like them. I think they are not live and well, but I think they're stable.
Well, I think being in the NFC for starters, I mean, it's kind of you have two teams over there to worry about, maybe three if you want to throw the Cowboys in, but it's wide open over there right now. So with the Rams, they low key have, I think, one of the best wide receiver cores, and Puka, Cooper,
Sure, yeah.
and Tutu. So I mean, targets aplenty. Let's just hope that that quarterback can do it. I'm giving them actually a 6 out of 10. I like the defense. I like the conference they're in, and that actually makes it a little better. And Stafford, a healthy Stafford, give him to me. Dude's amazing.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and go with maybe the best team in the league. Tell me about them Philly Birds.
Okay, Philadelphia is on my list as well, alive and well. They're not playing.
I think they're ready to go home from the hospital.
Well,
I mean,
and that's the thing is they're. I don't want to say they're playing lights out, but they really kind of are. But they're just not as lights out as they were a year ago.
well, if they could play every quarter like the third and the fourth, I mean, we would be sending them home probably right to the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah.
But they can't put the whole game together yet. So,
Well,
go ahead though.
Philadelphia has averaging 300 plus yards a game. Okay, their defense is playing physical. Their offensive line, they'll get at you. And now, AJ Brown looks like he's unguardable. So you tell me, are they stable? Or are they alive and well? Because to me, that sounds like a team that's prime for the Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm filling out discharge papers. I'm sending them home right now if we're doing a wellness check. So, I'm just saying, on both sides of the ball, you actually talk about the Niners being the most complete team, but I might give it to Philly on this one, just because
Well,
all
the
around
Ravens, I thought
the
I
most
have
complete
said the
team.
Niners have had the best roster,
Yeah.
right there with the Eagles. But when you're looking at complete team, there's a couple other categories you have to throw in there than just the roster guys. And I think the most complete team, like I said earlier, is the Baltimore Ravens.
There you go. All right, but I'm looking at their defensive line. I think Philly's defensive line is just crazy. As a Dolphins fan, they really got it to they can just wreck you. They really can. They can stop your running game. I'm giving them 10 out of 10. And let's go ahead and go to this next team because it's who my Dolphins are playing this week. Tell me what you think about them Chiefs.
Well, the Chiefs are another team that I have as alive and well. They don't have much to prove. They're the defending champs. They haven't looked as good. They have too many drops. They have too many receivers. And I think the problem is those receivers are having a hard time getting a real rhythm going in the game because they're in, they're out, they're in, they're out. So my suggestion here, and I know Andy Reid doesn't need my suggestions, but if you limit those 6, 7 receivers are rotating in, drop it down to 3. Let those guys get a rhythm, and then if they can't play, they can't play. I think it's safe to say Sky Moore's a bust. They need to move on from him. Let Rishi Rice get in there, and Valdez Scantling, and that Christian Watson, is that his name? Justin Watson. He's hurt right now, but when he comes back, he's probably their best receiver at the moment. So I think they are alive and well. They aren't doing really well right now, but listen, at the end of the season, you do not want to play the Chiefs. I promise.
But all right, I'm going to go in reverse a little bit here. I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. And what you kind of hit on was the wide receivers are not there. I'm going with the running game right now. I'm saying last week when they lost to the Denver Broncos, they put up 62 yards rushing. 20 of that came from Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you can't get more than 42 yards out of your running backs, something's wrong. Patrick Mahomes is the type of quarterback of Peyton Manning's, Brady's. He's going to make these wide receivers. I mean, he don't need these big names. So I'm putting it all in the running game. And but I'm giving them an 8 out of 10. Chiefs are going to be all right. Maybe not this week. Dolphins up, fins up, baby. But it actually leads us to our next team, Dolphins.
Okay, you want to hear about the Miami Dolphins?
Tell me about them.
I have the Dolphins at alive and well. The problem is I don't trust their defense. Their defense can be, and their offensive line can be a little shaky. But other than that, on their offense, their offense is actually leading a lot of the major categories in offense as far as statistics go. And they have a dynamic and really fast team. I think they can really explosive and really put points up. But as we've seen before, they might be a little bit of the heavyweight with the glass jaw, and I just don't know if that's going to get the job done in the playoffs. But the Dolphins are definitely headed there, and they're alive and well.
As a Dolphins fan, you might feel a little biased by this. So I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. I think they're trending in the right direction. I think once we get everybody back healthy, being Howard, we got Ramsey back. He got him a pick last week. Once we get all those pieces back, a chain, we can run the ball, open up passing lanes for Tua. It's going to be a tough team, and you're going to see them deep into January. So I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. And bring us into our next one.
So,
I mean,
really,
that's all I can say about it.
I think I'm be honest, Brian. I think we spent a lot of time on that. I think I'm ready just to move on past the, and maybe we'll redo that little segment toward the end of the season.
I like that, dude. You brought that up. That's a mid-season wellness check, but I've got one for you.
Okay, hit me with it.
Okay. Old Dave brought me into something new with this zero running back draft strategy. Let's do a wellness check on the zero running back.
Oh, well, you know what? Okay, that's actually that's a good one, Brian. I went. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I'm in 6 fantasy leagues right now. In every one of my leagues, I went 0 RB, and at first, it was a slow go. I didn't win a lot of games at first in all my leagues. I wasn't doing very well, but the last 4 weeks, I've really picked it up, and I'm now in a lot of my leagues. I'm up there towards the top in points. You know, I'm scoring a lot of points, and I'm winning games now. So I would say. The verdict's not out, the finished product's not there, but as midway, I'm going to say stable.
All right.
Stable condition.
And I see what you done. Like, you got to be able to take it in the jaw the first 2-3 weeks. You got to be down there on the waiver wire.
Play out. It's a numbers game.
That's it. But you got to be down there on the waiver wire to pick up those jewels at running back, and that's what he's been doing.
Yeah.
He's been down there snagging everybody. Been down there snagging everybody. So I wanted to bring that up because I've been giving him a heck about it ever since all the drafts, and like, man, you only need to do it in one to see how it goes, but it's working out for him. He's making some damn good comebacks. So let's jump into these games.
So that was fun. We'll have to do that another time.
I like it. That was a good.
So now we are ready. We're going to break down these games, give you some pointers and tips and parlay possibly. And if you were the guy that's sitting here waiting for the parlays, let me just, before we even start, I want to tell you something. Here's your 3-game parlay, okay? Kansas City over Dolphins, Ravens over Seattle, and the Bengals over the Bills. That's your 3-leg parlay this week.
I like it.
Take the points on all of them.
I like it. Well, jumping into this first game.
So it's a Thursday night game in Pittsburgh, where it's probably going to be cold, possibly raining or snowing. I think they had some snow up there in the Northeast lately, so we'll see how that goes. But the Tennessee Titans are going up to Pittsburgh for a battle. Brian, that's what's that, -2.5 for Pittsburgh?
It definitely is, but I think that may actually be wrong. We need to hear these injuries real quick.
Okay, let's check with the football mom about the injuries. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before we go to that, our producer just walked in. He's going to step in and tell y'all hello. And so, Travis, how you doing over there?
I ain't telling y'all nothing.
Okay.
Y'all gets not. I've been at work all day. I'm tired. I ain't got no back on this chair. My back's about to back out of me.
And this man needs a tequila.
Yeah, I need a tequila, and, well, we'll just leave it at the tequila for now. But, yeah. It's,
well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, well, it's good to be here. Glad I finally made it. I'm tired of digging in the dirt.
Yeah, well, Travis has a lot of fun in the
Make
daytime.
that
He gets to
money.
play in the dirt. So let's get with the football mom and hear the injuries for the Titans in Pittsburgh. game.
All right. It looks like it's going to be a quarterback issue. Titan wise, we've got Ryan Tannehill still dealing with that high ankle sprain. He will be out this week, but we got rookie Will Levis that will be starting at week 9. And he really balled out good last week, so let's see if we can see a repeat of that again. Steeler wise, we got Kenny Pickett. Had some rib injuries, but he is hellbound to start this week.
Oh man! So is that all we got right now?
That's it.
All right. Well, it looks like we're gonna have a battle of quarterbacks, whether one can stay healthy and one can
Well,
continue.
Kenny Pickett's been benched already.
Has he?
I think they're talking about Trubisky starting
Really?
for the Steelers this week.
Okay.
I'm not. I'll have to check my notes on my.
Well, this actually
notebook,
sounds
but-
better. Battle of the backups.
Yeah. So, but I know that they didn't like what they were getting from Kenny, and I know Trubisky played a lot last week, but we'll see. Tomlin's got a way with the guys. He's a player's coach. The people like to play for him. I'm sure he'll get his team ready. But I see this gambling wise as I'm going to stay away from this game. I'm not going to lock any Thursday game for sure. But if you're asking me who's going to win the game, I would take Pittsburgh. But I'm not willing to bet on it. The Titans, if Will Levis shows up to play like he did last week, Henry gets his 20 carries, they're a dangerous offense, or they have the potential. But Pittsburgh's defense has been playing great, and their offense has been I think both of these teams are surging a little bit, and that's why I'm going to stay away from it because I don't want this surge to mess up my parlay.
Well, I think one that the football mom missed on was Mika Fitzpatrick is going to be out this week.
Right.
So on the defensive side of the ball, I think Tennessee's licking their chops right now, and they're thinking, "Oh, we're going to be able to get this ball down the field. We're going to be able to run it better." Mika might be the best at his position in the whole league.
I think Tennessee is going to go Walter White this week, and they are Breaking Bad.
Oh,
I think the opinion that Dave just gave you was the opinion of a Pittsburgh fan.
Oh,
Well,
it could be.
okay.
It could be.
I like that. I like that. The thing is, what messes up rookie quarterbacks more than anything, and not all of them are the same. Not every guy's the same, but when you put pressure on the quarterback when they're young and they have to make quick, decisive decisions, that's when you get them to mess up. And I think T.J. Watt has been just unblockable lately, and I really think he's going to put the squeeze on him. And how much that'll affect the game, I don't know. That's why I'm staying away from it.
Definitely. But I do think that this game's going to come down to who's going to run the ball better. Okay, you're going to have Mitchell Trubisky on one side. You're going to have a rookie in Will Levis. I just don't see it getting done.
You see the advantage, Henry.
Who can run the ball better? And
Yeah.
I see Henry and who's the rookie in the backfield there?
Tajay Spears.
There you go. And I think both of those combined is a better combo, maybe a little bit. But being at home, it's going to be a close game. I definitely stay away. Fantasy wise, what are you thinking?
Well, fantasy, I'm not willing to jump on the running backs just yet for Pittsburgh because Warren's been catching some passes out of the backfield, but I don't know yet. I'm not ready to move them up to starters or even flex.
No, but I think
Johnson, I do want him. I want Deontay Johnson, and that.
Well, I'm just looking at Pittsburgh and who drafted Najee Harris. He's had a couple good games here of late, and if you're going to start him, this might be the one to start him in.
Well, the Tennessee has a good run defense.
They do,
and I just don't know that this is going to come down to. Yes, you're going to need to pick up the ball in the short yards. You're going to have to be able to run for 2 yards in the middle of the field and in the red zone. But I think this game is going to come down to two things. How much pressure can they get on the rookie Will Levis, and which quarterback has the better game? Because normally the better quarterback is usually the favorite to win the game.
Yeah.
And this one, I right now, from what I've seen, I've got Will Levis as the better quarterback, but that's only one game of – I've read the first chapter.
That's it.
I don't know the rest of the book.
Trubisky or Biscuit. We'll just call him Biscuit.
Biscuit.
Because I
Trubisky.
can't pronounce it. We'll just call him Biscuit.
Trubisky.
I think he's going to flop. And
Does Trubisky have it? Does he throw a couple biscuits this week?
I'm gonna give him 1-1. What do you?
I don't think
about
he
it?
throws much of anything but interceptions this week.
That's what
Okay.
I think he's
So-
gonna give one to each team, ain't he?
So Titans wise, fantasy wise, who are you looking at, Brian?
I'm gonna tell all Hopkins fans right now: do not look for the same thing. I mean, you're gonna start him just because it's DeAndre Hopkins, but do not look for the same results. At Titans wise, you're looking at Henry, Spears maybe. Are we starting him yet?
I don't know that he might. He's a low end flex at best. I
And
think he
I don't
might
think
be
we-
better off.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough teams on buys to really start him. So I'm looking at Hopkins and Henry.
He's definitely a desperation option.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
kinda,
Yeah, it
I had to
depends
use him.
on your team and your position. But
yeah.
you're right. If you're desperate enough, you can use
Oh,
him.
yeah, Travis has got
I
it.
had to use him. David Montgomery's hurt, and there is slim pickings on the waiver wire.
100%.
So okay, so you might wager wise, you might stay away from this one. I think we covered most of the fantasy.
Let's go to
fantasy
Germany,
reference.
dude. Let's go to
So,
Germany.
The 9:30
Just a
game.
Scheißenkampfer.
The 9:30 game in the morning is in Germany is the Dolphins versus the Chiefs, and that might be the game to watch of the week. I really want to see this game. It's a 1.5 points for KC. I have it as a lock. I think Kansas City bounces back this week. Their defense is better than the
Oh,
Dolphins.
he's going to lock his shit again.
The defense is better than the Dolphins, and Mahomes is better than Tua.
This
Lock it.
This man is locking constantly against the Dolphins. He's going to learn. The glass jaw is not going to be there. They're coming just titanium alloyed. Like, they're going to take it, and
They got the reinforced jaw.
that's it.
I'm with Hobbs. Maybe a bit of a homer, but
Both
don't-
these guys are Dolphins fans, mind you.
Dude,
Proudly.
I'm taking the better backfield. I'm taking the better wideouts. You may have the better quarterback. The defenses are on the same par. They're both traveling the same amount of distance. Call it jet lag or not. Mahomes ain't gonna be ready for Tua. That's all I got to say.
Well, I will say this. I heard something today that does lead me to believe that Dolphins have a little bit of advantage coming in. They are already in Germany getting adapted to the weather, the time, the altitude. I don't know if it's altitude or not. But
they're calling it getting
Well, look,
adapted.
look,
I
they're
think
get-
they're over there drinking some of that German beer. is
Yeah,
probably
And
what
I-
they're doing.
surely. But they're over there getting used to the team that travels late is usually the team that struggles because of the jet lag and the whole nine. And the
Less
Chiefs
acclimated.
had a Halloween party at their facility for their players this week, and they're still at home. They're not went to Germany yet, so that is a little.
I'm just
bit
gonna say
concerning.
I don't know if Pat Mahomes was really sick or just a hangover, but I think we're all jumping the guns without knowing these injuries first.
Well, the only way I see this going good, or the only good aspect I see of this for the Chiefs is the World Series isn't over in Germany. Everybody lost. I watched a baseball game. What was it? Their old kicker from like 30 years ago is like, I don't see how anybody could do that. I don't know why you'd want to watch a baseball game 2 days before you got a game.
There you go.
Okay, so maybe you're right, Brian. Maybe we should check in with the football mom and see if there's any injuries in this game.
Oh, well, we've got a new addition that just came back to the Dolphins as River Craycraft was moved off injury reserve. Is in his two-week window frame instead
That's
of a
fine
21.
with that. We'll be all right without him. What else you got?
And they're
Yeah.
saying that Raheem Mostert is a must start this week. Nobody sit on him at all. He's going to go off.
Solid.
But on the Chiefs side, you've got Isaiah Pacheco, but McKinnon's a little banged up, got a little bit of a groin injury. And he's just one to watch up to the time of play to see
Okay,
if he's
so we
gonna
have
play.
no heavy hitters. We have the
No.
Chiefs with no excuses whatsoever
None at all.
when they take this beat down.
Yes,
So, I mean, with the whole the hay crab,
Craycraft.
cray crap. Okay, Cedric Wilson's been playing lights out in his place, and I think old dude done lost his job. This is one actually I'd probably stay away from. I would definitely take the over on the 50.5 points, but that's about all I do in this game. I mean, I would probably on individual starts as far as passing. Let's take some Tua, 2 touchdowns.
And you're going to stay away from a game that I already just locked in. You going to do that?
I'm doing
I
it
done locked
because
it in.
I think he did
Brian,
it. He did it.
let me tell you something, both
did
of
it.
y'all.
like right.
When I lock it in, I lock it in. Y'all know what happens. It's over. It's a wrap.
But
Lock it up.
I'm looking at the number 1 and number 2 teams in the AFC, which you may going to throw Baltimore in. We'll talk about that
Oh,
later.
yeah. Mhm.
But I'm looking at the number 1 and 2 teams right now, and the heavyweight fight's
Debatable.
on. The heavyweight fight's on.
It is going to be a heavyweight fight, and that's why I'm so interested to watch this game because I want to see can the Dolphins go Rocky Balboa? Okay, can they take a punch and come back? You know, I don't know.
They have
I'm
yet
ready
to
to find out.
They have yet to do it this year, but I think, I mean, let's hope that offensive line's ready. Ramsey's ready to play. Let's hope Howard gears up. And if he does, Mahomes is going to have a bad day.
Yeah, and Brian, I know there's a lot of fantasy relevance in this game, so let's why don't you cover that for us?
I think on the Dolphin side of the ball, we're starting Moster, Hill, Waddle, Tua. You could actually sprinkle in a little bit of Cedric Wilson. It may be premature. It may be a little early. KC's side of the ball, we're going Pacheco. We're going Holmes, Kelsey. I'm starting to feel Rice. Are y'all there yet?
No, I think Rice is a solid choice for KC. That's what I was saying earlier. The way they're trading, they have too many receivers coming in the game. They need to strip it down to 3, and I think it's Rice, Scantling, and Watson when he comes back. But for now, you throw in Kadarius Toney.
There you go.
So, boys, excuse me, I'm a bit late, like my lady's period. Can you
He ain't lying.
can you put me up on game? Who's got home field advantage here?
It's in Germany.
It's in Germany.
Oh, nobody. Duh.
There we go. So I mean, dude, we're on a neutral ground.
Yeah,
so.
that makes it more
Dolphins
interesting.
got there first, like Dave said. So
Yep.
let's.
Smart.
Yeah,
do
they've settled
you
in.
want, wait, Travis, do you want to lock it in?
I tell you what I think is
Oh, we're gonna go
Whoever-
head to head.
whoever gets away from the red light district in Amsterdam first is probably going to be the winner.
Okay. Well, I think.
And I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
Well, they're going to be in good shape because they're going to have to ride their bicycle to get there. I don't know if y'all have ever been to Amsterdam, but it's all bicycles. There's no cars. It's all bikes. There's garages for bicycles.
Well, I don't know if
But,
Travis is ready. I know Dave locked in the Chiefs. I don't lock in teams, but I'm locking in Dolphins this week.
Did you say they only have bicycles?
Well,
I've
not
never
only,
been,
but
I've never been more proud to be American in my life after hearing that.
okay. So y'all went against the grain here. We're going head to head on this game. We're going to have something to talk about next week. But I think we need to keep it rolling, and let's get to that first 1 o'clock game. And I don't know if your list is the same as mine, but my list says Seattle is going to Baltimore at 1 o'clock.
Which may be the second best game of the week.
Yeah.
This is another heavyweight fight.
Well, Brian, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, before we get to the injuries,
You gonna lock?
I bet.
Is he doing it?
I bet.
I'm going to lock it in.
I bet he locks in the Ravens.
The Ravens will beat the Seahawks. It's a tough one, but I love how the Seahawks are playing. They're running the ball. They're getting 100 yards the last 4 out of 5 games. They're holding people under 20 points. I just don't think the Ravens are the ones. The Ravens are just too good. They're better all around. They're more complete. I think they bum rush them.
I'm kind of feeling like Miss Cleo here. I'm a bit psychic. I could have told you he was going to say that.
I guarantee it. I'm looking at this game right now. I mean, they're going to run the ball. They're going to keep Lamar Jackson off the field. I think we're totally against each other this week, Dave. I'm taking Seattle on the road.
You know what?
Whoa.
You know what?
Because if Seattle can beat that Cleveland defense, they're going to run through Baltimore.
Nobody's done that this year. Good luck.
I'm going to side with Dave here. I'm going Baltimore.
Louisville fans.
I'm going. Well, I mean, maybe a bit of a homer, but I mean,
Dude, I'm going to give it to Baltimore. Baltimore is legit.
Lamar has
Well,
been.
I'll
legit.
tell you what. Before we get too deep into it, let's go ahead and check in with Football Mom, see if there's any injuries in this game that might change our
Well,
mind.
there won't be any excuses because nobody's on the injury report.
Bam!
And
there it
you
is.
go. And look,
Okay.
I think Seattle is the trap team of the league. Like, you do not
Oh,
want to play
they're-
the Seattle Seahawks. If you can't stop the run, you're screwed. I
Yeah.
mean, and they low key, like I said earlier, they may have one of the best wide receiver cores. I mean, if everybody's coming in healthy, let's take the gloves off and let's see who's got
I
it.
think last week of the regular season, the Seattle is going to be one of the top 4 teams in the NFC, and they are going to be ready to make a run. Because when you're looking at the top 2 and 3 and 4 on both sides, then you're talking about real contenders for the title.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks that Minnesota is going to win the championship. Nobody thinks that the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. It's just, but the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Jaguars, Kansas City, the Eagles, Detroit, San Francisco, and I think you can also throw Seattle in there. Those are real contenders.
They are definitely, and let's jump right into the fantasy picks. I have a sneaky pick this week, which people probably already on this, but Smith Majigba. Am
you got it.
am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
Smith and Jigba.
There. Okay. All right. He has scored in the
Jackson,
last.
Smith, and Jigba.
He has scored in the last 2 weeks between him and Bobo. Do y'all know Bobo?
Yeah, he was on that movie with Dan Aykroyd.
This guy over here.
That's it. But I'm looking at those two players as sneaky starts this week. I mean, they have actually produced Walker. Other than the big run he had last week, he's kind of fell off the last 2 weeks, but we're still starting him. I don't really know. Are we starting Seattle's quarterback?
I don't think so. Right now, if you have a better option, you might want to look at it.
I think we're benching him in this game.
Yeah, I would. But also, this is a guy later down the road. If they can get Geno going and they can get DK going, that team is dangerous.
I'm looking at this game as a 13-10 game. I see a lot of defense in this game. And,
it's going to be a close one.
It really depends, I think, on the running game of Seattle, and is Lamar going to continue that on the tear he's on right now?
So, all right, you heard it here first. I said lock it in for the Ravens. Travis agreed. Brian did not. But either way, when Dave locks it in, he locks it in. It's over. So make your bets. Make your bets, folks.
The glass shell's going to get broke.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna get down to the Cardinals are gonna travel all the way up to Cleveland, where it likes to rain and snow all the time, and they're gonna have a game with the Browns. And I know Kyler Murray is not back yet. I think the football mom might have had something to say about that. And I think the Browns defense will dominate. Kareem Hunt is actually last week he did well. I think he's getting back in game shape, and he's ready to fill the void from Nick Chubb a little bit. And I'm glad for all you zero RB guys out there that picked up Kareem Hunt off the waiver, thinking ahead. I think y'all have done well. I think you're happy with Kareem Hunt right now. And if you're looking at your weekly lineups, you on FanDuel or whatever, you can probably get Hunt for a pretty decent price this week, I would say.
You're probably going to get him cheap because you still got Ford there. Ford's still running strong, too. So.
Yeah.
But if they get on the goal line, it's all Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big thing of this game, though, Arizona just traded their quarterback away, didn't they?
Yes,
Yep.
they did.
All right, so he's now Minnesota Viking Dobbs. So, Mom, let's go into those injury reports and tell us who the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals are going to be.
Okay, the starting quarterback
Is he
for the
gonna sing
Cardinals
us a
is going
tune?
to be Clayton Tune.
Tune.
And Kyler Murray will be back week 10.
Is that all we got?
Oh, on that side. Now, you got the Brown side. Deshaun Watson is still dealing with the shoulder injury, so you're going to have P.J. Walker as the start for week 9.
Who?
P.J. Walker. Hey, dude, he's won 2 games in a row.
What's a PJ Walker?
Straight
It's
from...
not a peanut butter sandwich.
I do love peanut butter sandwiches.
No, if that's you have to eat the peanut butter sandwich while you're walking down the sidewalk. And that's a PJ Walker.
That is, I like it, yeah.
Okay.
All right, and you got Jerome Ford is back this week also.
All right.
He was banged up a little bit last week with that ankle injury. And then you got David Njoku that is dealing with an ankle injury.
But
And-
he's been dealing with that for a while, so
Yeah,
I think he's...
so he's just
He's
one
been
to watch
playing
for.
better, really.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, he
Yeah.
He's been doing. I did better
caught a
than
nice
last year.
touchdown, yeah. So, dude, I'm looking at this game. Defense is going to just overpower. I'm benching all Arizona Cardinals. And if you're going to lock a game, please say it.
No, I was getting ready to. We are getting a third game in a row. I don't normally do this, but I had 2 locks that I scratched out for injury purposes, so I added some. So either way, third lock of the day, we're gonna lock in the Browns over the booty Cardinals because they have no quarterback now. He might be able to sing a tune, but he can't carry one. And I think that the buck stops here with the Cardinals. Connor's still out. They're just their offense has not been looking good. Their defense is okay, but I think that I just think that the Browns, their defense is so good that when they get to these mid-level or bad quarterbacks, they really give them a lot of trouble. And I don't see how the Cardinals score a whole lot in this game. And I don't know what the over/under is because Dustin's not here, but I would
we got Cleveland by 8 right now.
I would look at the under in this game, and also I think you can feel safe but eating 8 points, but that's a lot. If you're nervous about it, you might want to take the money line, but the Browns will win the game for sure.
Well, let's hope. What is it, Tune?
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
hope Tune don't come out like Levis, but I don't see him doing that against this Cleveland defense. I'm taking Cleveland all the way. It's 37.5 points. I'm going under on that. I don't see a lot of points out of both sides. And one note I want to bring out that Deshaun Watson needs to change from pads to tampons because it ain't holding the flow. The man needs to just. If
He's having a heavy day.
it is. I mean, he's had heavy days ever since the Titans
Oh, my gosh, boys.
or the Texans. I'm not feeling him. That ain't the answer. Go PJ Walker forward with this defense. If continue the running game, y'all are going to win some games, and you're gonna annihilate the Cardinals. Stay just
Now we've
Cleveland all
already
the
talked
way.
about how the Cardinals players. If you got them, we're sorry, bench them.
yeah.
But who do you like fantasy-wise this week for the Browns?
I'm going Hunt, Ford. I'm going both of them.
Yeah,
I mean, because
I can see that.
Because they're both going to be flexes unless you did
And
the
when you
zero.
get up, you just want to run the ball and get the game over. They're probably.
Yeah.
I bet they run a lot more in the second half.
And I think wide receiver wise, you're really only going Cooper. I don't think Elijah Moore has really done enough to really
No,
establish
he's not
as
the
a
flex
flex.
spot really, not yet.
Peoples Jones is gone now. David Njoku, though, I mean, he's been playing well as late.
Yeah, now Njoku, I'm not going to give him a flex start, but if your tight end's struggling or on a bye week, he's a great pickup, or he's a good substitute while your man that's hurt gets over the hump or whatever. I mean, he's playing well right now. Will it continue? We'll see.
I mean, honestly, though, the best start in this game is going to be Cleveland's defense.
Oh yeah.
100%, and there ain't too much.
And
more
really,
to-
that about covers it because there's not really a whole lot to talk about in that game. So let's go ahead and bust down to Houston, Texas. This is where the Buccaneers are going to go play the Houston Texans, and I do want to check in with the injury report before I give you my picks for this game.
All righty. Well, we don't really have anything on the Buccaneers side, but with Houston, Robert Woods is going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks with a foot injury. And then you got Damian Pierce that's dealing with an illness, so he's one you need to watch up to the time of the game.
Okay, and Baker Mayfield's still out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So Tampa's going into this battle with the backup. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So this is pretty easy
but
picks.
no, well, not necessarily because the Buccaneers' defense is pretty nasty. You don't hear a lot about them because when your defense is on the field the whole game because your offense can't sustain a drive, it really hurts them. I think that happened a little bit last few weeks. But when they put drives together and they give Evans the ball and Godwin the ball, they can really put some points on the board and stretch that offense out to where their defense ain't getting so tired in the game. And I really think they're sneaky. The Texans, C.J. Stroud, he didn't do it last week, but that team has been playing well. And if Damon Pierce is coming back, is that what I heard?
No, he's one to watch this week. He has an unknown illness.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, I'll say this.
That just leads me to what my point is. Stay away from this game with your wagering this week. The Bucks D's too good. It's an unpredictable game. Travis, I know you're itching to say something. What you got, bud?
I'm with you. I would stay away from it. Both teams are on what I think a 3-game losing streak. You said Tampa's got a backup at QB right now. If I'm Tampa, you got to get a win. You need to turn around. Both teams really need a win this week. They're both 3-4. And I feel like a loss for either team is just going to be a downward spiral for whichever one loses.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Debbie
you know what? I
Downers.
like that, Travis.
Debbie
I like
Downers.
that.
All right. I'm going to give y'all a little to it, all right?
You gonna pump it up?
I am.
Pump it up.
I'm looking at the
Pump it up.
Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
C.J. Stroud.
Right.
I'm calling it right now. Rookie of the
Okay.
Year. Okay, he's going to come into this game. He's going to show these boys. Tank Dell's back. He was kind of brought back to the game a little bit last week. And Devin Singletary has been running the ball just as good as Pierce, if not better. He's been he out carried him. So I think Houston's offense going to get going. Houston has the sneaky good defense.
Yeah.
Is on my side, but Tampa is good. But I don't see nobody getting Evans or Godwin that ball other than Baker Mayfield. I'm taking Houston all day in this game with the 2.5 points.
Yeah, I do kind of like that bet, but it scares me. And this is one of those games that I get so mad when I lose my parlay because the one team didn't come through, and I had questions before the game, and then I'm mad at myself because I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have taken them. I knew that was going to be too close to call or whatever, and I feel like this is going to be one of those games. I do feel like the Texans win, but I don't feel so strongly that I want to wager my money on it.
Yeah, I think a safe bet though was under 40. I could definitely see that with a backup quarterback for Tampa. You got the rookie quarterback in Houston. I could see this as a 10-17 game.
Yeah, that makes
Easily.
sense. Yeah, I like that too. I like the under on this one.
But I think are we staying away from Tampa wide receivers this week, or is Evans just that good to where we're throwing him in?
I think you have to get them. They didn't give them the ball much last week, but I think I'm going to say that they learn from their mistakes last week, and they're going to feed the beast. I mean, you got to give the studs the ball. When you have playmakers and you don't give them the ball, how do you expect to win?
That's it.
You know, so I think that's going to situate itself out as time goes on. I don't know how long Baker's going to be out for, but the Bucks are one of those teams that they're in a bad division. They can still make a run if they can get it together sooner than later. Fantasy-wise,
I think
you have to play Evans. Godwin has been looking better than Evans lately, so Godwin is an easy start this week, I believe. And then the White who's the running back?
Yeah, White.
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle. He's probably going to end up around 12 points, and I don't know if that's enough for me to put him in a flex play. So I would stay away there. But Tank Dell being back, I think that adds a little spice to the Texans. But I don't know that I'm not really nuts about any of these players on the Texans. What do you think, Brian?
I'm starting C.J. Stroud. A lot of people's probably picked him up. That's struggling at quarterback, which he would be a good pickup for all you Kirk Cousins fans or owners. Let's call them owners.
Yeah.
So let's go with that. Nico Collins, I think, is a must start. He's the best player on the Texans right now. So I'm not too big on Schultz this week. So I'm going Nico Collins and the quarterback.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm probably benching both defenses. I don't really know what they're going to do, what team's going to really sneak up. So that's
okay.
It's kind of just a down game to me.
What's the spread?
It's over 40 right now.
No, the spread.
Oh, they got Houston by -2.5.
Yeah, that's a stay away game for me. If I like the points better, I might change my mind, but I don't. I really think that covers it from that game, and there's not a whole lot to really dive into in that game. Sorry to all you Texas boys out there. I know you want to hear about the Texans. But we're going to move down. We're going to keep this thing rolling along. We're going to go to Chicago. Is going to travel all the way down to Mississippi to New Orleans. And this is a game that I feel like it's a little interesting. But before we get too deep into it, I'd like to see if there's any injuries in this game.
Okay, bear wise, Justin Fields is still going to be out with that dislocated thumb, and you'll have Tyson Badgett taking the start for week 9. Now, on the Saints side, we just have a lot of illnesses. We got Michael Thomas and Jimmy Graham both dealing with illnesses, and both their plays are uncertain at this time. So you just need to watch and listen for game times.
I gotcha.
I think Brian, that's going to lead me to my point here.
Go ahead.
Let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. The New Orleans Saints, their defense is too good for the Bears. Trash offense. I'm going to say lock it in. Saints win easy. Take the points.
Agreed.
There you go. Sharon, you heard it first from here. Right now, she is still in the money. She is still down to 5 teams. She's been hearing it from our podcast. She's been taking the information. She's winning with it. Keep rolling, girl.
Sharon, the only problem I have here, and I don't know if it's going to cause you to change your mind, but the Bears did pick up Montez Sweat. I think is his first name, Montez, I believe.
Yes.
But either way, he is a heck of a pass rusher, but also he can be a run stopper too. And if he can kind of wrangle in Kamara a little bit, that's going to give the Bears that's going to make it a little bit harder for the Saints to win the game. But I think the Saints just have too much on defense, and I think with Kamara playing well lately, I think it's just going to overwhelm the Bears, and not overwhelm them like 35 to 3, but I maybe overwhelm them. You know, I could see this as a 21-6 type of game.
Definitely.
The Bears without Justin Fields, absolutely dismal. They got embarrassed last week by the Chargers. I don't see him pulling a W this week at all. I'm with you, Dave.
No, I'm with that. The Bears rookie quarterback coming in, he's struggling, but he's trying to hold it together. The running game ain't working for the Bears. I'm taking New Orleans by a landslide.
Yeah, and
they just too many weapons.
Yeah,
100%. Too many weapons.
I'm with you there.
I mean,
yeah.
you have to worry about Kamara in the red zone. You got to worry about Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
2 touchdowns last week.
Now, Brian, let me ask you this.
Rashid Shaheed.
There you go.
Oh, he played great.
Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. Let's keep going.
Yes.
If you're a fantasy owner, is there anybody on Chicago that you want to play this game that's even worthy of a flex?
Dude, I wanted to, and I did last week. I started Foreman because the week before that, the man put up over 40 fantasy points, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
He didn't continue.
What is wrong with all these NFL teams that they can't see that Deontay Foreman is a starting running back in this league?
He did well in Houston.
He did. He did well in Tennessee. I mean, the man can run the ball. He must be a smartass or something, pissing off coaches. Something's got to be going on.
Well, what about DJ Moore?
I think you have to start him if you have him on your team because you saw the possibility of the 3 touchdowns, which did come with their quarterback. Help me out, Travis.
Trubisky?
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he went old school.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Okay, yeah. It did come with Justin Fields, but with their rookie, he has an arm. He can get the ball down the field. But this is the biggest lock of the week for me. So I'm going New Orleans landslide. What do you got, Trav?
I'm going to have to go New Orleans also. Yeah.
What about
Without Fields, their duty.
Yeah.
for the Saints? Do you want most of their players earn a play this week?
I think
yeah.
I think the one Mom talked about, Rashid.
Raheem.
All right, I think
Yeah.
he's flex worthy now. He had 3 catches for like 153 yards and a touchdown last week. He's stretching the field. If they're going long, they're going
And
to
he's
him.
The problem I have with that is, yeah, he is their deep ball guy, but he only had 3 catches. That doesn't usually translate from week to week. That ends up being a boom or bust situation.
It kind of is.
If he can get the 3 bombs, then yeah, you know. So be mindful of that. If, like Travis said earlier, if you're desperate, then that's a good guy to throw in there. But
I
think he's a low end
Yeah.
flex,
But
just because of that.
I think we're kind of looking right now that we're in the bye weeks right now. So I mean, he could definitely come in and spark your team. But you got Michael Thomas averaging 10 to 15 a game. He's solid. Chris Olave, you're not benching him. Kamara, you're not benching him. Are we starting Taysom Hill this week? I have Sam Laporte on a bye, and I've got him on my waivers right now. Is he worthy of starting?
Yes.
I think he's worthy of a filler piece. If there's somebody you need to pick up just to turn around,
Just
drop,
not,
or,
not an every week starter. He's just a
Yeah.
filler. I got you.
I've been kind of looking at him too because it's like you can fill him in the tight end position,
Yeah.
and sometimes he's getting a few snaps at quarterback.
Yep.
So you're getting freebies from a tight end.
And a running back, too.
yeah.
The man,
He does.
the man
he's all
plays everywhere.
around.
And I tell you what, if New Orleans had a legit quarterback, New Orleans has every piece. They have a. I ain't even gonna call it a mid-level defense. They have
They
a
have a
top.
great
They have a
defense, yeah.
top 10 defense. They have one of the best wide receiver cores. I mean, Kamara back with Williams.
Yeah.
That's a great running game.
They're well rounded. I want to say they've probably taken a page out of the Eagles and Niners playbook where you develop you start paying some of these other guys, you build your team up, and then you end up with not having to really pay a quarterback.
That's it.
And but you have to have one that's serviceable and that can run your system. But anyway, I'm going to say that covers that game.
Yeah, I think we all agree.
I'm ready to move on. I want to talk about the Vikings going down to Atlanta.
This is the one I've been waiting on.
The Vikings are going to Atlanta.
Let's-
Before we get
we
into
have to
it,
hear these injuries.
let's just check in with the football mama with these injuries.
All right. I had a sad loss this week in fantasy, losing Kirk Cousins to that torn Achilles. But we've got, they did a trade for Romeo Dobbs, but he won't be starting till week 10. So we got the rookie Jaron Hall that's going to be starting in week 9. So we'll have to see what he can do. Now, Falcon-wise, we've got Taylor Heineke is the start of the week, and he will finish out the season. Desmond Ritter has lost his starting spot for now, so we'll have to see what happens as far as that is going forward. Now you got Drake London dealing with a groin injury. He did not participate in any practice at all this week so far, so we'll have to see what he'll do towards the end of the week.
I just want to touch on the spotty, just the shady stuff that the Atlanta Falcons do. With the Bijan Robinson last week, right?
Right.
Like, we didn't know he was sick. He dressed. Everybody started him. He got 1 carry. Last week, they want to say Desmond Ritter left the game because he was in concussion protocol. And now they're benching him. So what is up with all this shady stuff
They
from
said
the Atlanta
they
Falcons?
didn't know he didn't know he had a concussion until after the game.
I'm throwing out all the
Right.
shady stuff. Let's just go with it.
Well, they got
That sounds like a
timed
fishing
well,
story,
though,
what Dave
for-
just said.
Yeah.
Now,
Fishing
look,
story.
let me tell you about them boys down in Georgia. Upstanding people.
Oh.
They are.
Georgia fans.
They are.
Damn Georgia fans.
They are honest and Southern
Okay.
hospitality and the whole nine and the Georgia peaches. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I tell you. Now this is a very interesting game, though. We have Atlanta as a 5-point favorite, and we're doing a over on 37. What do you got on it, Dave?
Ooh. I tell you, I'm going to stay away from this game, but I do kind of like.
Minnesota's defense been stepping up, so let's not call it a landslide with that.
Well, and I don't think
it.
I think this game's going to be too close to call. The 5 points is kind of the kicker there because I don't like the 5 points from the Vikings standpoint, but with the Falcons, I do kind of like that 5 points. But I don't know with Ritter being benched if that's going to is that going to revitalize the team, or is there really a sickness going around and we're going to have 4 more people sick this week?
I tell you what, though. I mean, he was Heineke was able to spread that ball around with London out of the lineup with actually a concussion. I will confirm that because he's on my fantasy team. But he really spread the ball around. We don't know what we're going to get out of Hall at quarterback with the Minnesota Vikings, so that kind of puts me at a stalemate with Jordan Addison.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
he
what
going to
leaves
continue?
me. That's what leads me to taking those 5 points.
Yeah, and I think we're going to lean more with Minnesota on the running game. I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a Cam Akers this week.
Thank you.
Oh, my bad.
Thank
Trav,
you.
take it.
No,
take it.
this
Take it,
is
Trav.
Cam Akers coming out party.
There we go.
He's been kind of a few carries here and there, been a little flat, but with no legitimate quarterback behind center, they're gonna have to play smash mouth football. They're gonna have to go old school on them.
I like that.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. So
And
we're gonna.
I've got Cam, so he may be a flex for me this week.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I think Cam is a solid flex play this week. Fantasy wise, who else you like, Brian? I mean, Addison is easy choice
I think
for
it
the
is.
Vikings, but
I think
Hawkinson.
T.J. Hawkinson, you're definitely starting. K.J. Osborne, you may want to think about. You may be thinking about shying away from him, but I'm with Travis on this one. I'm going Minnesota running backs. I'm going Cam Akers. I'm going Alexander Madison. I'm going Cam Akers over top of him just because of the receiving. And that's where you've really saw Cam Akers shine here in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
He's caught the majority of the balls. On the Atlanta side, Drake London, is he not on the – did he pass concussion protocol?
Yeah, it's not that. It's more along his groin.
Okay.
That
So-
he's not participated in. Practice.
Okay, so we're more or less looking at running games coming from both sides.
Yes.
So, I'm probably still starting Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts has been stepping it up. Smith, he's been tearing it up too. So they really got a double-headed monster at tight end.
yeah,
But I think the Atlanta running backs are starting.
yeah, and that's my thing. If I'm gambling, I'm probably going to stay away from this game. But if you're asking me to pick one here today, I'd like the Falcons and the
Yeah.
5 points.
Yeah, give me Atlanta, definitely, 100%.
All right, so we're just gonna keep rolling right along. Our next matchup would be the Los Angeles Rams are going to travel all the way up to the country in the middle of nowhere to the Green Bay Packers.
We're gonna have to do some injuries. On
Yeah, I
this one.
think we need to
Definitely.
get to that
We
for
need-
sure.
We gotta know about Stafford.
All right. Well, Matt Stafford has that UCL sprain to that thumb. There's pretty much saying he's not going to play. You got Brett Ripken that is going to be starting for him. And we're hoping that next week being their bye that Matthew Stafford will come back much healthier after the bye. But we've got a late injury reported on the Rams side. Puka Nakua. He's got some knee swelling.
Oh,
And so it's unknown if he's going to be ready for the lineups. That's one you need to listen for.
what about on Green Bay? We're good.
Good on Green Bay side.
All right, I think we can break this game down pretty easy.
Yeah,
With what is his name, Ripken?
Yes.
He came in the game last week. A lot of you bettors out there who was gambling on
Lost a lot.
who is that?
Stafford?
Cooper to get a
Cooper Cup.
Cooper
to
Kupp
get a touchdown. Yeah, I was
a
one
lot
of
of
those
us,
guys.
a lot of us was sitting there hanging, just like, oh,
Honey,
come on.
I had $1,000 bet, and all I needed was a touchdown from Cooper Cup.
There you go.
And
So
I lost.
I think we all saw what we're going to get out of that quarterback. And with all these games, you're probably going to make me sound like a broken record, and I do, that there is a lot of backup quarterbacks this week, and you're going to get a strong running game. We're going old school football this week. And you're going to
But
get
there's still a Cooper Cup there that can get open. Seems any time. I mean, I don't know how that guy gets open so much.
he does, but I mean, he was trying to get him the ball. The man cannot get him the ball. You got
Yes.
Puka, you got Cup, and he struggled. He struggled big time. So I'm looking at a strong running game out of the Rams, and as bad as Green Bay is, I don't know who to pick in this game.
Yeah, I will say this. I'm probably gonna stay away from it. But if I'm a degenerate gambler,
And that
might-
remains to be seen.
yeah, the key word was if, and but truly, yes, yes, okay. But
Degenerate.
the thing is the Packers have averaged 4 points in the first half. Okay, and what that tells me is that even with the scripted plays that they practice all week, Love just can't get the job done. And I don't normally like to talk about people like this, especially they're living the dream, they're playing in the NFL, they're trying to do well. I want everybody to succeed, but Love, you suck, bro.
No love there.
It's
no
a
love.
love
So-
hate.
No love for love.
Yeah, no love for Love. And honestly, I really like Sean McVay, and I know he's going to come up with some kind of game plan
He's
that's
gonna
going to
have
get the
it.
job done this week. And I'm not going to bet it, but for you degenerates out there, this might be a Rams game. I was going to lock it in until
Until you heard about Steph.
Until I heard about Stafford. That's what it was. I was trying to find my notes. I didn't write my notes very well this week. But Stafford being out is what changed my lock, and I had to switch things up for y'all. But I still, if I'm still probably going to bet this game because I'm a degenerate with y'all. I'm right there with you guys, okay?
Dude, I don't lock games, and I want to lock it because Green Bay – I mean, I'm sitting here trying to give Green Bay somebody to start in fantasy football. I want to give Jones that. I can't do it.
The only thing you can say about the Packers right now in this game is they're at home.
Sorry,
That's
Nate.
it. And the L.A. players coming up to cold Green Bay, that might give them an issue, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Rams win. Is there anybody in this game that you like?
I'm starting Darrell Henderson on the Rams side. You're starting Cooper Kupp because you got to. With the knee swelling with Puka, you might want to bench him this week. On the Green Bay side of the ball, I mean, if you got to start somebody, I have to. Christian Watson, I've got to start him. I drafted him so high. There's so many buys this week. I'm starting Christian Watson. Jones, if I had to start a running back on that side, I'm doing that. I'm staying away from Love. I'm staying away from A.J. Dillon.
Travis.
A.J. Dillon has been a bust. He hasn't done anything near what he's done last year, as far fantasy-wise. I've got him on my team. He hasn't started once. There's no reason to. Hey, what's he maybe getting averaging?
8 to 12.
8 points. I think he's got 10 or 12 twice.
Do you all want to hear his stats for the year? 85 carries, 266 yards, and 1 touchdown.
That's like a little more than 2 yards carry, something like that.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's
my math right?
that's-
I've had a few tequilas already.
bro, that's Alvin Kamara in one game.
Yeah, it's
A bad game. That's a bad game.
I'm just
No,
saying.
that's
2 yards a
Alvin
carry,
Kamara
yeah.
to halftime.
I'm just saying. Like, sorry, A.J. Dillon. Sorry you don't have an offensive line. If I got to start somebody, I'm going Jones because he's catching the balls. Right. So,
all right. So you heard it here. Jordan Love, you suck. Packers lose. They're terrible. I mean, if you're looking for a win this year, I bet against whoever's playing the crappy Packers. Okay. So we're gonna move on. Sorry, my buddy Wes, if you hear this, I know you're a Packers fan out there.
Nate, my bad.
The
Nate.
next game we're going to talk about is another game that it's just kind of trash. It's just a trash game. It's a bad matchup. I'm not going to watch it. Maybe you will. I don't know. But we're going to go Washington Commanders
Oh, shit.
are going to New England to play the Patriots.
Dave, I got this. Hang on.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm locking this game.
Oh, you're going to lock
Oh,
it?
you might want to hear injuries first.
They're
not
pretty.
You bet. Go ahead, go ahead, go
Mama
ahead.
got you.
Go ahead.
You know the rule.
Yeah.
You always got to listen to Mama.
That's it, baby.
Mama's
All right.
right again.
Oh, he gonna tell your mama.
All right, we're going to start with the Commanders. And we've got Curtis Samuels has a foot injury. He's
Pussyfoot.
uncertain for week 9. He is undergoing tests and everything is still up in the air. Logan Thomas has a heel injury and his play is also uncertain. Now we're going to jump to the Patriots side. They got a little bit of disappointment with Kendrick Bourne tore his ACL and he's out for the season.
No, their speed guy.
And
Hence
then,
for my lock.
And then Devontae Parker, concussion protocol.
Okay, well, Parker, I mean, every
Right.
team that he's ever played for is used to
Right.
not playing with him. So let's go with my lock of the week. Washington Commanders. 100%. Dude has been playing out of his mind. 4 touchdowns last week. And I want to say his name. I'm losing it right now. Help me out.
Who, Sam Howell?
Sam Howell, baby.
400
Sam-
yards almost.
Sam Howell. Okay, been playing out of his mind. Samuel's being out is fine because who stepped up last week, Mom?
Terry
Johan Dotson.
Dotson.
We finally saw
I
the man. He
know it.
came up out. Everybody drafted him high. They was looking for a big season. I think his coming out party was last week. You're going to see a lot more of it this week. Strong running game out of Washington. Strong passing game. Too much for the New England Patriots.
I
Bill
think-
Belichick ain't got the answer.
I think it's actually Johan. I think it's
Yeah.
French for John.
Okay, I like it. Go
I've
for
just
it.
checked, or I'm just saying.
It's that guy.
He's just busting your balls.
I like
dude.
it. Go for it.
Now, Travis was the kid in class. Excuse me, teacher, you didn't give us homework tonight. Are we supposed to have homework? Because I'd like to have some homework, please.
Ma'am, you didn't carry over the one.
Is a lot 2 words?
This guy.
There's 2 things I ain't never. Well, one thing I ain't never been, and that's a stickler for schoolwork.
Okay. Yeah, that's why he's here with us, folks. That's why he's here with us. He didn't graduate, and move on.
That's why I'm just a dirty laborer.
But anyway, besides carrying our bags, Travis does do more things around here.
Hey!
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
I carry those bags very well.
You
sir.
heard it first here.
Hey, who else can produce and be on the mic at the same time?
Hey, look, he's versatile. That's what we like him. Really, when I'm looking at this game, there's not a whole lot I like fantasy-wise. I think Hal's been playing better. Scary Terry's an easy start. Dotson is definitely a flex play. And Brian Johnson, I just don't know if he's going to be able to do a whole lot against the Patriots. Are traditionally pretty stiff against the run. But the Patriots they're just kind of laying down.
They are.
They're just kind of laying. I don't know if they've given up or what, but
The thing, I
I
think
don't expect a lot out of them. And Stevenson is the only guy I'm looking at on their offense, fantasy-wise. And that's about it. I mean, there's not really a lot to cover this game. And honestly, Brian,
Just go ahead.
I'm tired of talking about it. I just want to move
Dude,
on.
I want to add so
Can
much
we-
more, but
You know what? Go ahead.
No. I just want to say, all you Washington people, if you start these people, like I'm saying, Brian Robinson Jr., Dodson, McLaurin, Howe, you're going to struggle in the first half. Let's not hit the panic button. Bill Belichick's going to bring it in the first half, but that defense ain't going to last. They're going to run away with this game. I would bet the under on the 40 and a half points. On the spread, I mean, they're actually giving New England the 3.5. I would take it. I would take it as a Washington bet right now. Run with it, and I'm done with this game.
Yep.
The tough thing about Washington is they've been pretty hard to figure out. They've been so up and so down. They've been hit and miss.
There you go.
They're not consistent. That's the biggest problem I see with them. They have a lot of talent. But they haven't put it together every week.
Well, let's all look back at when they played Philly last week. They should have won that game. Let's move on.
Yeah, I tell you, let's move on. This is a stay away game for me in the parlay. If you're forcing me to pick one, I'm gonna go against the grain here with the Patriots.
Oh,
But anyways, we're gonna move to the 4:00 slot. There's only 3 of them this week. The Colts are gonna travel down to Carolina, the Panthers, and there are some things I want to say about this game. But I would like to check in with the football mom and see if there's any injuries that might change somebody's mind out there.
there you go.
All right, we have a few. Mostly all of it is on the Panther side. We got Laviscus Chenault has a high ankle sprain, and his return is yet to be determined. You got DJ Chark dealing with an elbow injury, and his play is also up in the air. We got Hayden Hurst dealing with an illness. So, the illnesses are going around right now. And then we got Chuba Hubbard with a concussion protocol.
Oh, that hurts.
Regardless of those losses, Indianapolis is what I think they're giving up the most points in the league on defense.
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
They are.
Yeah. I don't see him pulling out of that.
well, and Hubbard's been a pretty solid play in their offense to help offset the Thielen thing. Minshew is right now is a better quarterback than Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the defense is their linchpin.
Yeah, no doubt. And
But I think we're all missing the big thing on this game. Indianapolis's running game.
Yes.
That's true.
Zach Moss, Jonathan Taylor right now might be the best 1-2 punch in the game right now.
yep.
Fantasy-wise. Let's call it fantasy-wise. Let's call it league-wise because right now they're averaging probably the most yards in the game. I mean, I can't think of another team right now
The Eagles.
combined.
Oh, running back?
Running back.
Oh,
running back.
yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking
Running
about
back tandems right now. And I think that's going to be enough to get Gardner Minshew this win. I don't see the trend continuing with the one win. Adam Thielen, you're starting with confidence. Right now, that man is, dude, he's
Lights
out of
out.
control, dude.
Yep. He's looking like the Adam Thielen that we used to pick in the first round.
Other than that, I mean, Chuba Hubbard, I probably would have started him if he was playing, but coming out of the concussion protocol, is Miles coming back?
Now that one I don't know. I
Okay,
have
so
to follow up
but
on
but
that.
Miles Sanders was there last week, but he only got like 3 carries.
Right.
You know, I think y'all have kind of talked me out of what I just said, I believe, because, you can have the worst defense of the league, but Minshew's not playing too bad. And like you said, Brian, they have a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at on it now. Now that we've talked about it a
Yeah,
little more.
honestly, I do have the Colts as a winner in this game, but I'm not willing to bet. This is another stay away game for me. And like I said, Minshew is better than Young. The Colts defense isn't as good as the Panthers defense right now, but the running game is stronger. And I'm going to give it to the Colts, but Thielen, like you said, he's a really strong play. I'm going to start both Moss and Taylor. Michael Pittman, he's probably
definitely.
He's
How
definitely
about Downs?
Downs.
Downs is
Downs is
Very-
that flex player we told you about.
He's looking
Hopefully
good.
you listen and you put him in your lineup, but he's
Very
trending towards
flex-worthy.
he's a wide receiver 2 this week is what I have him.
That man is in my lineup, and he's staying there until
And
further
then-
notice.
And then I'm taking the under on the 44.5, and I'm taking Indy in the 2.5 points.
Okay, Brian, other than Thielen, is there anybody on the Panthers that you would feel comfortable with in your lineup this week?
If Miles Sanders is starting where you drafted him, you're probably going to start him. Other than that, I've got Indy's defense going against them. So
Okay.
That's about all I got to say. Y'all already covered Indy's. So.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's go to the G-men of New York are going to travel all the way out to Las Vegas and play the Raiders.
Mom's going to have a lot to say about this game.
Yeah, there is some things going on in this game. So before we get going, let's go ahead and check in with the injury report.
Yeah, Mama's not injured.
Mama's injured. I mean,
she woman can't walk. No, I'm just
Yeah,
playing.
no
I'm
kidding.
playing.
All right, let's start on the Giants side. Okay, we got Daniel Jones that's been dealing with that neck injury, but I believe he's been cleared to play, and with Tyrod Taylor out, I guess he's basically the one to fall back on. So Tyrod Taylor's not participated in any practice at all, and so we're going to see Daniel Jones, the little fame whore, coming back.
There we go.
But we got Darren Waller. He is out with a hamstring, and he will miss multiple weeks.
I did see that.
did she call him a fame whore?
You
she
got
did.
it, baby.
He pulls it out of Barkley's
if
chest
that's
so
not-
many times and runs it in.
Yeah, the
It's
problem.
true.
Well, wait, on the Raiders side, are we good on the Raiders side?
No, we're not.
I have to hear this before I say
Okay.
anything else because this is where
Raiders
she's
side.
going off.
Raiders side right now, Jimmy Garoppolo, back injury, looks rusty and unsure of himself is basically what they've said. So
He looked
we've got-
unsure of himself on the field too.
Oh yeah,
So he's being is he being benched?
pretty much.
So who's our starter?
We've got Aiden O'Connell is expected
Rookie.
to start, rookie to come in. So we'll see what he can do.
I just want to tell all those guys in my dynasty league, I picked up Aiden O'Connell just for this moment. I knew it was coming. Y'all knew. Y'all just watch out
We
for them crazy
all
keggers.
knew.
That's all I got to say. But who are we starting in this game?
Barkley, I'd love to start Barkley. If Waller was a go, I would look at him, but I don't think he's playing.
No.
And for the Raiders, from what I've seen from the last 2 weeks, I don't really want to start any of these Raiders. I mean, how in the world do you have Devontae Adams and only give him the ball a couple times?
Because Garoppolo couldn't get him the ball.
Well, I think we're going to have to see what's going to happen with this new
Well,
coach.
that's what
and
leads
how-
me to believe that on the Raiders side, you want Devontae Adams this week. He's made it made it known that he's unhappy. He's made it known that he wants to move on. Y'all need to, or make me happy. Give me the ball. Let's win some games. Show me that you're ready to win and that you know how to put it together. The problem is the Raiders organization as a whole for years now has just not been very good. It's not they're not a well-run machine over there. So I really don't like I really don't like the Raiders in this game, and I think the Giants' defense is just too good to where the Raiders they're just going to shut down the Raiders this week. I think Barkley's going to take over. The problem I have with Tyrod Taylor is he's like the one guy in the league that just can't throw the ball deep. So I don't know if they can make it work. I think the Giants are going to win this game, but I'm not willing to lock it at all because the Raiders have some players. I mean, they have Hunter Renfro, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs,
Jacoby Myers.
and they cannot seem to they just can't seem to put it together. I don't know, and maybe it's a Garoppolo thing. And this week with the new quarterback, they'll get something going. But until I see it, I'm going to stay away. I'm picking the G-Man, but not in my parlay. Stay away from that. You don't want to bet on this game, folks. Yo.
All right, I'm not confident in either team. I don't see Barkley getting 36 carries again this week. I am,
No,
but
definitely
as the new Raiders coaches, there's one good thing to lean on, and that's Josh Jacobs. They got him going in the first half last week, and I think that's what killed them in the game. They went away from that, and they tried to lean on Garoppolo, and it didn't work. And that's what happens when you get an I'm saying in here overrated receiver.
Yeah,
and
and that's
Devontae Adams, and he wasn't always overrated. He was great in Green Bay, but he's getting older. You know, you have to get open in order to catch the ball. So I'm not putting it all on Garoppolo. So right now I'm saying, Raiders have a subpar offensive line. Jacobs right now catching out of the backfield from a rookie quarterback. Right now you're gonna start him. Myers, tight end, you may want to start him. You're starting Adams because you got to. Jacoby Myers, you might want to bench him.
Yeah, and for you fantasy gurus out there, Jacobs will be a great trading piece right now. He still has value, but boy's looking kind of tired out there.
Well, I want to bring it up, though. I mean, if most leagues are like others, at the NFL trade deadline, your fantasy trade deadline's ended too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's true. I didn't think about that.
let's actually go on the Giants side of the ball. We're starting Barkley. Is there anybody else worth starting?
Uh,
Plaxico Burris.
Oh, there we
I
go.
used to love
no, he's
him.
out. He shot himself in the leg
No,
at the
bro, I
nightclub.
want the
Bang, bang.
salsa. Who are we going with the salsa? Who is it, guys? Tell me.
That was
Victor Cruz, baby.
Victor Cruz,
Oh,
yeah.
But no, I'm actually going with Wan'Dale Robinson. If Wan'Dale Robinson's playing, which I know he's been a little banged up here lately, he's a reception machine because he's your slot guy. He's going to get all those little short. He ain't going to get you a lot of yards, but he'll get you a lot of
A lot of ding
receptions.
and dunks.
He's actually he's flex worthy this week, I would say, with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I just think the defensive line for the Giants is just going to be too much. But I'm hoping to see something out of Raiders. And I didn't mention it earlier, and we probably should have talked about this. But in case you're listening to this show and you didn't realize, the Raiders just fired their coach and their GM. So things aren't going well. But if I'm in the Raiders organization, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy because, the Bill Belichick 2.0 didn't work. He's gone. The GM's gone. Well, now there's a potential that we're going to have somebody step in with some real talent that can help guide this team, and I think that's what they need.
I
really.
wonder if that's going to be maybe a former coach who's been dabbling with Garoppolo occasionally.
Well, let's actually throw a shout out because I've seen this actually on Facebook here lately. It's kind of been a trend on let's fire Josh McDaniels. Michael Duckett, shout out, Raiders fan, big time. Been hollering for his head for a while.
Yes.
Well, the problem, the thing is about that is the Bill Belichick coaching tree just hasn't done
Blossomed.
very well. And I've heard somebody say this, and I think it's really true for this situation that is proximity to greatness doesn't equal greatness. Just because you're with Bill Belichick and you're winning Super Bowls doesn't mean you can do what he does.
Sometimes coaches are just better coordinators.
Yeah, and
And Dallas's defensive coordinator. Can anybody help me with that one?
no,
Okay, all right. Well, but the man took Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl, which he did. He had a great team. Lost his ass lost in the comeback to the Patriots. Sometimes you're just a better coordinator, and
Yeah.
he has stayed there because he has built a great defense, and he knows he's a defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna get y'all that name here in a minute.
Well, the Dolphins' ex-coach was Bill Belichick protege, and he's already been fired. Now they have a McDaniels, but and there's been several of them. What's your boy Matt Patricia up in Detroit? He didn't work. None of them have. So, but anyway, Kyle Shanahan can't say the same thing, but that's neither here nor there. So I think we're just going to keep moving right along. Let's get to what I know a lot of fans out there want. There's the next two games you really want to listen to, because this next game is the Cowboys at the Eagles, and this is a tough one, boys. This is a tough one. Before we get too deep into it, I think it's time we need to check in with the football mom and hear about these injuries.
All right. Well, on the Cowboys side, we don't have any injuries. We just have some illness with Michael Gallup. I'm not sure what his illness is, but he's one to watch to see if he's going to play. On the Eagles side, we got Jalen Hurts still nursing a little bit of a knee injury, but he said nothing's going to slow him down.
Okay. Now, Travis, let me ask you something. The Cowboys, every 2 or 3 games, they jump up and look like America's best team.
America's football team.
Yes.
It's who they're playing.
But in between those games, it's like, hey, what are the Cowboys doing? Do they need to change it up? Or, what's going on with the Cowboys? What I'm saying is they're streaky. Is this a game that you see the Cowboys jumping up on the Eagles?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. And
Okay.
then first off, I'll say Philly's at home. You got to deal with all those inbreds and all those nice people in Philadelphia.
I like it. Oh,
Easy,
They
boy.
are,
don't ride in, Philly fans,
That,
please.
yeah, don't write in. I was just
He
attributing.
just caught himself a knuckle sandwich
Yeah.
next time he's in the area.
Well, I don't never go to Philly, so Liberty Bell's out of the question.
Better watch out. Mama's right there.
Oh, I
Philly
forgot.
fan,
Mom
Philly
likes
fan.
Philly.
You're in striking distance, too.
I am, but I am fast. I am
That's
fast.
okay.
Did you hear?
She got a cane
Hey,
out.
And she's got me cornered. Oh,
Mama said you had something on your face. What is that? Where'd you get that?
well, that
That's
kind of
what-
reminds me of LL Cool J.
That's
Mama
what-
said, "Knock you out."
That's what
That's
you,
it.
don't you talk about
Man,
Philly.
your football mom slapped you good.
All right.
But I'm going Philly though on that. They're at home. Not really a big Cowboys fan. Maybe that has a little to do with it. But Jalen Hurts been looking pretty good this year, and they've got a few weapons. A.J. Brown is an animal, and that's where I'm leaving it.
All right, call me the underdog. All right, Mama gonna hate me for this one.
Yeah,
But,
watch it, boy.
Don't
They-
do it. She's already smacked
Hey,
one of
hey,
us.
hey! Even though I call Philly inbred, I didn't pick against
I
them.
tell you what, Dallas and Philly's going to split this series, and I'm giving the first one to Dallas. Even though they're going to Philly right now, I'm taking the over on the 47 and 3.5 points. Give me Dallas.
One thing, okay, Brian, one thing I will tell you is Dallas, they do lead the league in defensive touchdowns with 4.
They do.
But they're unpredictable at times. The Eagles, they're predictable. They've been getting 300-plus yards a game on offense, and Dallas does have a great defense. But when you get in the trenches and you get physical, I don't know that their defense is going to be able to do to the Eagles what they do to everybody else. And I don't know that their offense, unless they're going to do the C.D. Brown thing again, I don't see their offense doing a whole lot on Philly except for C.D. Brown. And that's the guy that I would feed. And if fantasy guys out there, that's the guy I would start in this game. But I'm going to take the Eagles. And also, I did not want to lock it in, but I do feel like the Eagles, they're just they're more consistent than where the Cowboys are streaky, and I think it's a close game. I think the Eagles win, but with my parlay, I'm going to stay away.
I think Dak got his confidence back last week. Dak had 300.
Oh, honey, no,
easy. Hey,
no.
Mom, I'm talking right
No,
now.
no.
Hey, just sit and listen.
But he
Okay.
got his
And then
confidence back
Okay.
3 weeks ago
Bro,
and then lost
all
it.
right, the bro got his confidence back. 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. All right,
But
now,
who did he play?
the Rams.
Okay, but
Decent team.
All
Decent
right.
team. Okay, an away team. or Sean McVay, right? Or I'm saying his name wrong.
No. What are you talking about? The Rams?
The Rams.
Yeah, Sean McVay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, he had a good game plan for Dak.
Stafford got hurt.
Bro couldn't handle it. So let's just go with right now. I think just Dak is flying high right now, higher than your Eagles. So it's a gut feeling, right? It's a gut
Yep,
feeling.
you have to do that sometimes.
And it is a in division game. And I think right now, the Cowboys sneak one in. It is. I definitely wouldn't bet on this game. So I think they're going to sneak one in and give me Dallas on the road. I'll take the over 47 on this game because I think it's going to be very high scoring. So I'm taking Dallas on the road.
And
They have the best
Does Swift-
defensive player in the game. Look on the front of the bar.
Okay.
Does Swift,
Micah Parsons.
I don't care.
does Swift keep it going against Dallas's defense?
Ooh, maybe in catches, but not rushing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me tell you.
Oh,
who
look,
Dak's,
Mama talking.
Let me tell you who Dak's best friends are going to be this week. It's going to be Fletcher Cox and Darius Slade because they're going to make him eat that dirt, baby.
I like it.
Mark my words.
I like it. I like
Mark
it.
They
my
are going to
words.
be in his business.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
it.
it. I
They
like
gonna
it.
be
I
in
mean,
his
this
business.
is literally, I think, going to be a 3-point game. This maybe we were calling the Dolphins Chiefs the game of the week. This may be the game. Of the
Well,
week.
it was a close one. This was a close one. I'm definitely watching this one as well because they're not in the same time slot, baby. I get to watch both of them.
That's it.
But fantasy wise, I think your CeeDee Lamb's an easy start. Brandon Cooks has showed a little life. Maybe earned the back end on the flex if you're desperate. Your Eagles players, I think Swift solid. Gainwell's coming along. I don't know if he's there
Nah,
yet
he
as a
ain't.
flex.
No.
But your Eagles receivers, is there anybody?
Let's go Brown. Let's go Smith. Let's go Goddard. All of them. I mean, all of them are going to do good, but
And Julio came out,
he caught a touchdown.
he caught a touchdown, but
One
he's
catch,
new
8
there.
yards.
He's new
Hey,
there.
I told you he was a red zone guy because Julio ain't no Fulio.
That's it.
That's
That's
right.
it. But
and he's new there.
all right, well, let's look on the Dallas side of the ball. We got Lamb. We got Cooks, like you said, caught a touchdown last week. But I think this is Tony Pollard's coming out game. Everybody's been waiting for it. The man's been putting up
They've
less.
been waiting for it.
Oh, they have. They
They've
have.
been waiting.
Philly don't know what's about to hit them. Is what's going to happen.
Pollard, I'll be honest, Brian, Pollard to me looks like he's not ready for primetime players. I don't know if he's a number one. He did really well at the 2 spot. Maybe he was there too long and when he should have got his shot. But it just looks like he is not the every down back we thought he was going to be.
No, I mean,
And
honestly,
he
I
could
agree.
break out. You're right, but I don't see it. Not against a tough Eagles defense.
Eagles fans, players, Dak's going to be in their nightmares. That's all I got to say. Let's leave it at that.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, is
I'm
that
not buying it.
does that finish that game? Travis, you have anything you want to add on the Cowboys Eagles? No, sir.
No, I think I'm good.
All
on
right,
that.
well,
I
let's
think I'm
move
good.
on. Let's go to the 8:20 game Sunday night. Everybody's going to watch this one. The Bills at the Bengals. Cincinnati is going to be loud. Loud.
I personally think this is the game of the week to watch.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm telling you why. One of these two teams
I'm going to tell you why here in a
is
minute.
going to be dancing at the end of the year.
Oh, easy, easy.
Oh, I already see. He missed the early part when we were on. I
Oh.
was talking about the Bengals, but either way, before we get too deep into it, maybe let's check in with the football mom and see if we have any injuries.
All right. Injury wise, it's just the norm with Josh Allen in the shoulder. But he's tough. He's going to come out and he's going to play. Bengal wise, we just have a chest ailment with Joe Mixon. So his availability is up in the air. It's just one you got to listen to for a game time decision.
So a chest ailment, what is that?
He went
Is
10-man
got a
on him.
cold.
Is that a
He
hurt
got
titty?
no heart.
Is that a hurt titty? Is that what I'm understanding? He got hurt tit?
No, he got no heart. No, I'm just playing with you if you listen. So, Brian, that right there, the injuries are over. We know what we're looking at. We know the time slot. We know who's at home. You know what I'm wanting to do?
What's that?
I'm going to lock it in.
Oh, he ain't going to.
I'm going to lock it in.
You take
with-
too big a game to lock, but go ahead.
I'm going to lock it in for my final lock of the week. And we're going Bengals. Lock it in over the Bills. The Bengals, first three games, okay, let's scrap them. They didn't look good.
Wash 'em.
Burrow's hurt. So, last 3 games, This looks like the Bengals team we expected. I think we're going to keep seeing the Bengals team we expected. They're explosive. Their defense has been playing better. And lo and behold, when you can throw the ball, well, now look at Mixon's doing something. I mean, they work together. I think the Bengals are going to keep rolling. The Bills are a tough out.
The last 3 games, Burrows has done a phenomenal job of distributing the ball.
I think you forgot about the. Hang on, I'm gonna throw some shit in because I'm like the bearer of bad
Well,
news here.
the Bills are tough
I
out,
really
but
am.
I tell you what I really like in this game, Brian.
What's up?
I'm liking that over.
All right. Well, I'm looking at like maybe I am the bearer of bad news because I mean the Bills are in my division. I'm a Dolphins fan, and I just can't bet against Josh Allen, regardless what happens. Shoulder injuries, non-running game, banged up offensive line. Gabe Davis took a game off.
Linebacker
Diggs
hurt,
is bitching.
cornerback hurt.
The man shows up just game in, game out. And right now, he needs a signature win just like the Miami Dolphins. But right now, I mean, last week, he threw for 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran 1 in. All right, he's playing lights out. Joe Burrows threw for 283, 3 touchdowns.
That's a lot of offense on the shoulders of Josh Allen.
It is 100%. But I'm taking the Bills' defense over Cincinnati's defense. This is where the Burrow train ends. Okay.
Oh,
Because
hot take.
Because I mean I'm gonna give Burrow his last 2 wins against Seattle and against the Niners. But 3 weeks ago he lost to the Titans, so he shows that there's weakness. Who loses to the Titans?
Yeah, Travis, tell him about it, son.
You know, everybody allowed to have a bad game or two. Last 3 games, he has looked phenomenal. And I like watching both of these teams. These are 2 of my favorite teams in the AFC, aside from obviously the Dolphins. But you maybe call me a bit of a Cincinnati homer because we're just a chip shot away. But I want to see them genuinely win.
It's a chip shot for some of y'all. That's a long drive for
I
me.
want to tell y'all a lot, though, that Travis finds this game sentimental to his heart because we share a trophy because of this game last year.
Actually, that is correct. You are,
I just had to throw it in.
My memory has escaped, and you are correct.
But
Well, there's no doubt about it. This is a heavyweight fight. This is a heavyweight
It is.
showdown right here. Two contenders.
And they have 2 metal jaws, but Josh Allen is not Burrow. So
No,
wait, I had that wrong.
Burrow is
Burrow-
not Allen.
Disagreed.
Exactly.
Disagreed. I agreed, but now I disagree.
You know what? I'm with Travis here. I disagree too because the difference between Burrow and Allen is Burrow doesn't make the mistakes that Allen makes.
And he ain't no bitch.
Allen is. Whoa now.
I say that jokingly. I even like Josh Allen.
Hey.
I'm just having fun.
Josh Allen, if you're listening, he said he'll climb you like a spider monkey.
Like a tree.
Oh, like a tree. But Allen can be a little risky at times. He has that little bit of Brett Favre in him, the gunslinger, the I can thread the needle. You can't, but I can. Watch this. You know what I mean? And I think
Josh.
the Bengals defense has been playing better. And with Joe Burrow on fire, Chase is still there. I like the Bengals in this game, and I'm going to lock it in, Brian, despite the disgruntled disagree. I know look.
I'm just saying one just statistical thing is Josh Allen has one thing Burrows don't. That's rushing and size. Ain't nobody gonna bring Josh Allen down. He ain't scared to run the ball because he ain't got an old bummed ass knee.
Well, that first guy's
So
gonna
I'm just
pay
saying.
for it.
Well,
I'm just he is
Josh
100%.
Allen. Josh Allen is a bit of a risk taker. I mean, he
Well,
is
let's,
right on that. Let's just hope. Let's just hope
wait.
he's not like a Brett Favre type.
We
risk
have a-
taker,
wait,
and
wait.
Let's hope he doesn't do any money extortion after he retires.
Oh, easy.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
Mom, who do you got in this game?
Oh Lord, I don't know.
Give
Well,
your baby boy some love.
Are there?
We're
Are there?
going 2-2, baby.
You didn't
I'm
give me
I'm
no
playing.
love on my
I'm playing.
Eagles, baby.
What? So I mean, I think we're all starting all the players.
Oh yeah, you want
Give me
you
all
want the
of 'em.
players in this game. Gabe
mean-
Davis playing great lately. Diggs, you don't even have to talk about the running game for the Bills. Though you might stay away from.
Are we going to see Leonard Fournette this week?
I don't know.
Stay
I
off the
really-
waiver wire, Travis.
I really don't know.
It already
I'm not
passed.
sure about.
It's 9 o'clock.
I'm not about Fournette.
Yeah.
But Fournette he kind of washed up, yo. But the Bengals side, Chase, I think if Mixon, you listen close, pay attention on Sunday morning. If he's a go, I like Mixon in this game as a flex play. I don't think it's a real strong play, but because the Bills' defense is pretty stout. But without the linebacker Milano in there, I think it gives a little more room for him to run. So we're gonna I'm gonna lock in the Bengals over the Bills at 8:20 on Sunday night. Now, Brian,
I want to hear the lock on this next game.
let's move on right along.
I want to hear.
I was gonna lock it until I heard something on my drive home today,
Oh, he's changed.
and I did not. I scratched the lock. It's a scratch. But anyway, before we get into it, it's the Chargers are gonna come to the New York to play the Jets.
The Jets.
Now, we're going to hear about the injury report first, but I want to tell you what I heard on the radio on the way home.
Was
that
very disturbing.
This is what made me scratch this game as a lock. Okay? There's 4 offensive linemen not playing this week for the Jets. Now, the Jets don't have the best line in the world, so I don't know how big of a drop we're talking. The Jets still might be able to hang here, and I kind of, before that, I like the Jets to win this game. But before we go any further, I'd like to see if there's any injuries in this game for the Chargers and Jets.
All right, Chargers-wise, you've only got Gerald Everett dealing with a quad injury, but he's still not been ruled out to play. And Jets-wise, you got Randall Cobb dealing with a shoulder injury, and he is out for week 9.
Okay. Now, the Chargers are struggling. They haven't beat a team with a winning record. And honestly, the Jets are improving. I kind of like the Jets in this game until I heard about the offensive lineman, but their offensive line like I said, it hadn't been that good to start with. So I don't know how big of a drop we're talking. They still might be able to do something, and I still kind of like the Jets in this game because I'm just not a believer in the Chargers. I think the Jets are going to be too physical for them, and they're going to send them packing back to L.A., and I don't feel strong enough to bet it. But, Brian, if you're a fantasy player in this game, who are the guys that you really are looking towards?
I'm thinking, on the Charger side of the ball, you're definitely looking at Allen. You're looking at Eckler. I think you could actually throw a little bone at Joshua Kelly this week.
Okay.
The Jets' defensive line is great, but I think you're going to see a lot of running the ball. They're going to try to just monopolize this game as far as time of possession. So I could actually see a little Quintez Johnson this week too.
Easy.
Maybe
Don't give those fantasy players hope out there.
It's probably just because I'm reaching for a wide receiver this week, but I'm just throwing that out there. On the Jet side of the ball, you're definitely starting Hall. You kind of got to, as far as their other running back.
Oh, you said Jets?
No, Jets other running back.
Brees Hall.
No,
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
Oh, okay,
I think
okay.
Dalvin Cook's on the bench,
Okay.
and he's staying there.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, are we starting him?
Always.
Yeah, I think he's at least at the worst a flex play because the Chargers are going to throw the ball, and the Jets are going to need to throw the ball too if they're going to win this game. I just think that
Is the Jets defense worthy starting?
Well,
I actually like the Jets defense in this game, and that was the whole reason why I was going to lock in the Jets until I heard about the offensive lineman.
well, I'll say one thing about the Jets, boys. This is going to be Wayne Krabet's year. Wrong decade. My bad, guys.
Bro, give me Santana
I
Moss.
do. I've liked the Jets since the beginning of the year. Obviously, with Brees Hall getting hurt at the
And
beginning of the
Aaron
year,
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. Even though I'm a Dolphins fan, I liked that lineup. I like that team.
Yeah,
Now-
never heard a Dolphins fan say that out loud
I
about
think-
the Jets.
Yeah,
I think
that's
they-
true. It's true.
Bro,
but I tell you, I think they're bouncing back. The only piece they're missing is Aaron Rodgers, and then what was the other injury? I missed that. But if they get Aaron Rodgers back, that's a formidable squad.
They
The
have to-
AFC is tough.
Oh yeah, they're
dude,
loaded.
Aaron Rodgers right now is talking all the crap in the world that it's going to take them making the playoffs for him to come back and help that team.
Yeah, but part of me thinks that is a leader trying to motivate his team, rally the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you can
whether he
rally.
comes back or not, he's trying to give them
Well,
hope and try to get them to fight.
Bro,
and
you
get-
can't rally a quarterback when it ain't there.
Well, and
That's
his
the whole
little
thing.
players, Alan Lizard. No, it's not Lizard. It's
Lazard.
She
Lazard.
said lizard.
Here, lizard.
That's about how he's played. He's slithered about
I'm a
5 or 6
blender. I'm a
points at
blender.
time.
All right, but I'm just simply saying I think the Chargers are one of the most underrated teams simply because of their
Yes.
coach. They have one of the most talented teams in the NFL, and you really don't get to see it week in and week out because of their coach. So, I mean, I'm taking the Chargers in this game. I mean, I want to call it by a landslide, but the Jets' defense is so just
But it may
It's
not
hard.
be. if
Yeah,
they've lost
it's
so
a
many
tough one. It's
players.
really, I think it's become a stay away game.
I'm taking the Chargers. with
Chargers, you
confidence.
locking it?
I'm not locking it, but I'm pretty confident. But I ain't over the hills confident.
I wouldn't put a
I'm-
dollar on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking the under on the 40 points. I'll take the 3.5 for the Chargers though. I
Yeah.
will. 100%.
Well, okay. So, anybody have anything they want to get off their chest?
Eagles is going to kill the Cowboys.
I just want to tell all the viewers out there to like and subscribe. And,
Okay.
I want them to share and get us out there. There's a lot of good information coming from this. Just get us out there, and let's see where it goes.
You know, here's the thing. I'm going to touch on what Brian said. You know, if you're not sharing, or subscribing, you're not doing Football Mama any justice.
Well, and really,
she's the shining star of this podcast, to be honest with you. Without her, we would all be lost. Brian wouldn't be on the earth.
Exactly.
We would be in a world of pain.
So just like, subscribe, and let's. Dave,
and
what
the
you
most
got?
important of the three is to subscribe, because
You don't have to like us.
at this point in time,
Just subscribe us.
we need the subscribers more than we need the likes and shares. But we would love all of them. And please leave a comment. Ask us a question about your team or your lineup.
That, and I do want everybody to know that video is coming.
Yes,
You're going to
yes.
know what the faces look like to these voices.
You're going to get to see Brian's ugly mug.
Look, I sound country.
We all pretty.
I don't look country. I just
Okay,
want to
so
say.
I'm gonna go real quick. My 3-leg parlay I gave you earlier was Kansas City over the Dolphins, Ravens over Seattle, Bengals take the 2.5. And my locks of the week that we were talking about on these matchups, I had the Chiefs over Dolphins, like I said, the Ravens over Seattle, like I said, the Saints over the Bears. That's Brian's lock of the week, and then we have the Bengals over the Bills. And if you're looking to build some parlays, you want to make some money, we're making money over here. We want you to make money too. We want you to win your fantasy. So
I ain't seen $1.
I just want to tell everybody, like, subscribe, leave us some comments. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you're hurting at fantasy-wise. Maybe we can help you out.
Yeah.
And odds are we probably can, because this is a great show. I hope we help you out. What do you
Yep. And if you made it this far, you're like family to us, and we really appreciate you. And this is DDB's End Zone Empire. I'm your host, Dave. And we got my main man, Brian.
Peace out.
And Travis over here filling in for Dustin. Travis.
What's good? Have a good night.
Yep, DDB's End Zone Empire, and we're out.
If you ain't good, be good at it.